when you have an outbreak, it's practically impossible to control because they are a lot and they fly very quickly. So unless you are able to control, to prevent the outbreak, it's very difficult afterwards to control. The cycle of reproduction of the locust depends on several factors, but particularly related to weather conditions, the humidity of the soil, because they lay the eggs in the soil, but they can open only if there is a certain humidity. So that happens once a year or twice a year in certain semi-desertic areas. Because they need sand, they cannot lay eggs in tough soil because they cannot put their eggs in the soil. So they need sandy soils. And they are flying from the area that they infested, for example, the green areas. They are going through the desert where they can find these conditions, yes. The locust doesn't travel with a passport. So they are crossing from, for example, from Mauritania to Mali, from Mali to Niger, and you cannot control these outbreaks if there is no coordination between the countries, because in one day the outbreak can go from Mali to Mauritania, for example, or to Mauritania to Senegal. Some strong points are the fact that there are international organizations that are supporting this control, locust control, like FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization of the UN. And of course, the other strong point is the cooperation between neighboring countries. Another strong point is technology now, because through the technology you can, and through the remote sensing and GPS system and also, if you have people trained in each country, which is, let's say, a frontline country in the fight against desert locust, you can implement a system of control based on remote sensing that can help you to prevent the outbreak. So the job of the prospectors is to go to these, let's say, hotspots where statistically there is a certain probability that there is an outbreak of locust. They have to go to these different hotspots and make a prospect, so to look if there are signs of the presence of the locust. And they are trained for that. They know that to a certain threshold they can just control, but at a certain level you have to make a treatment to eliminate them before they fly. And technology is the key, but the key without the prospector going in the field, in the desert, is useless. So prospectors are very, very interesting people on the side, because they have to be prepared to stay in the desert for 2-3 months. So-called hotspots where the locust is reproducing himself are in this area of the Sahel region, which is now basically under the control of the states, because it's under the control of Al-Qaeda and other organizations like that. So for the prospectors, it's now impossible to go there for security reasons. There has been a certain period where the phenomenon of the Al-Qaeda was at the beginning that the prospectors still went there with the support of the army, but at a certain point the area was closed. So there is no more prospection there, and that's the problem.